Good morning, everyone. How are you? I'm so glad to see you all here. I've been reading all your comments in the chat. So thanks for sharing. I love finding out where people are from and what are you doing this morning? Tell me where you're from and what you're doing. It's so fun for me to see people from places I wouldn't even think of that are tuning in. So I'm just tickled you're here. So far, I've seen a couple of Californians. One gal moved from Boston to LA to live the dream. I'm from Northern California. When I was growing up, we were NoCal and they were SoCal. That was kind of the thing. So we were NoCal. Northern California and Southern California are like two different states. They're really very different. I was from Northern California, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Puerto Rico, born and raised in LA. Hello from Texas, more California, another Texas. Oh, good morning. I'm also glad that you're here. I have a lot to talk about today. I always have a lot to talk about. You know what's so funny is when I think about doing these, I find some topics that I've been getting a lot of questions or comments about, and I think, well, I'm going to address those. And then in the interim, I find like 50 other things that I think, oh gosh, I should talk about that. Then I have to pare it down and figure out what we're going to focus on today. The first thing that I want to talk about is a confession. It's a confession from me, and that is I do not have in my home or any of the property around my home, my yard, front or back, a single Christmas decoration. Not so much as a bulb or a pine frond or anything, not a light, nothing. I just have done nothing this year. And I don't know why. I think it's because clearly I did not bring any Christmas decorations with me, although I could have gone out and got like a little something, something, but I didn't. I have really just been relying on the town of Aiken to give me that Christmas stuff because, downtown is literally, it takes me like 2.5 to 3 minutes to just go down the street and over the wooden bridge into downtown, and I'm there, and it's beautifully decorated. Aiken is just, there is more community spirit in this little town than I have seen, I think, in any other little town that I've been in. It's so adorable. So I've been getting my Christmas spirit, from the town. What about you guys? Are you all decorated? Did you do a tree? Did you shift your decorating after the kids moved out? How do you do it now? I want to know because I did not do a darn thing this year. 2 poinsettias. Poinsettias are great. Sounds like you found the perfect location. It is nice. Am I going to be here forever? I don't know. We'll have to see. Tell me whether you decorated or not and whether it changed when, the kids grew up and decided they need to live somewhere else. I'm still mad at my children for leaving. I bribe my oldest daughter all the time. I'll pay you a whole lot of money if you'll just be 3 again. She has never taken me up on that. Marilyn, good morning. Good morning. All right, this morning, as you can see, I have no makeup on. The only thing I did is I put a little bit of the Kosas, I think it's Air Brow or Brow something, in my brows to hold them in place. I curled my eyelashes. Of course, I put on my skincare. And I have on this lipstick. Isn't this lipstick pretty? This is my favorite lipstick. It's a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick that I use when I want my lips to look like I have red lipstick on, but I don't want to worry about them getting all over my teeth or creeping up to my lines or whatever. This is called Glowing Gin. Glowing Gin. And I just realized I should probably get this from my friend Jen. Then she could be Jen with the Glowing Gin lipstick. But it's just a nice way to get a red looking lip without it really being over the top red or creeping, getting on my teeth, that sort of thing. So Glowing Gin lipstick. And the reason that I wanted to show you my skin today is because I just turned 66 like a week ago. So I am officially now, this is so wild, you guys. I am closer to 70 than to 60, which blows my mind. And I'm sure that you've had that same feeling. It's like, well, how did this happen? I swear I was 17 like an hour and a half ago. So here I am, closer to 70 than to 60. And it's so true because I can remember my mom saying when I was younger, she says, "I realize I'm 40 or 50 or whatever, but I still feel like I did when I was 18." And that's the way I feel. I still pretty much feel the same way I did, although I think that my discernment about the world is much better. I make better choices, better decisions right now. All right, so we have a lot to talk about. Oh, anyway, back to my skin. The reason I wanted to just have skincare on today is I wanted to show you what happens to skin when you take care of it. And if you guys know, if you've been following me, you know when I first started my channel, my skin was a mess. It really was not in good shape. I hadn't taken care of it. And when I talk about my skin, I'm not saying, hey, look at my skin. It's, hey, look what can happen when you take skin that's really in bad condition and you give it some good nutrients. That's what I'm talking about. So if you're first starting your skincare journey or you're feeling frustrated or if you've been inconsistent and you're not seeing the results that you would like, I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, cross my heart, the whole darn thing is if you put some good effort into it, and it really is not so much effort as just consistency, you will see amazing changes in your skin. And I am fortunate to be in the position of getting lots and lots of, I get emails mostly about this. People will email me and say, I cannot believe the difference in my skin since I started, following a good skincare routine. I'm not a fluke. My skin looked terrible. And if you want to go back and look at my skin when I first started my channel, you guys know what to do. Just go over to my channel, scroll all the way down to the bottom and look at my skin when I first started. It was ruddy. It was just blotchy. It was wrinkly and it was just a mess. So you really can rejuvenate skin. Now, keep in mind, I was in my early 60s when I started this. So I was thinking, I don't know if it's going to work. It could be too late. It wasn't too late. I think that you can fix skin at any age. I really do. Of course, the older you get, you have to be a little bit more consistent, and it probably is going to take a little longer because your body is just not pumping out all those useful hormones anymore. So it's a little bit more of an uphill battle, but it can be done. All right. So that is 66-year-old skin. If I can do it, you can do it. Trust me. I never did skincare my whole life. So if this old dog can learn a new trick, you can too. It'll be easy. The first thing I want to talk about today, and I honestly stick around because I have so much to talk about that's important that I need your guys' input on, or you're going to want to hear about because it's good stuff, good information. The first thing I want to talk about today is what's the super sale? It is the last stock up sale for City Beauty before the end of the year. And I'll tell you what, City Beauty, here's the thing with City Beauty. This is what happens with me, and it happened from the very beginning. They sent me some stuff a while ago, way back before I ever worked with them or anything. And I thought, I rolled. This is not going to work. And they sent me this originally. This is the story, and you might have heard it before. This is the City Beauty Invisicrepe Body Balm. And I didn't believe that it would work. I just thought it was overpriced hype. And I thought, you know what? My job is to test and try skincare. So I thought I'm going to use this on my neck for 30 days and then be able to tell my viewers that it doesn't really work and don't waste your money. What happened is that it really did firm my neck. It was such a surprise to me. And I took before and after pictures, and you can go over to my channel. And if you go up to the search box, you can type in neck and it'll bring up all the neck videos, and you can see the pictures of my neck from before and after. And let me tell you right now, my neck is going to be the focus, one of the focuses for me for 2023, because where the skin on my face, I'm pretty pleased with it. My neck is really starting to show signs of aging. And this really helps. This really does firm the skin under my neck. And I know that sounds far-fetched and weird. It really does work. And I've had a lot of you comment to me, yeah, it really does work. I don't know why. So anyway, I tested it and tried this for 30 days in the beginning. I knew it wasn't going to work. It did work. It was weird. And I've kind of been a City Beauty fan ever since. However, the same thing happens every time they send me something. I open it up, I eye roll, and I think, I don't know. And then I reluctantly use it, and then it ends up working. I don't know why I can't change my initial reaction to that, but Everything, just about everything I've tried, with the exception of the mascara. The Beyond mascara, not not my favorite. I mean, it's okay. It's just not my favorite. But everything else I've tried, I've just really, really loved. So I can say they are a little bit higher priced than, let's say, The Ordinary or some of the other skincare products that I've used, but I haven't found anything that is effective for the price. I mean, generally something that says it's going to firm your neck, you're talking $150, $200 for a jar. They're not that. So 35% right now off everything on the website. This is a stock up sale and everything is 35% off. The discount code is down below. It's pretty over 50, spelled 50. Just click on that link. It'll take you over to my personal shop on the City Beauty website and you can put in the code. So I think the number one that I use the most is the Invisicrepe body balm, and I use it on my neck. And what I do is I just open it up, I put it on 2 fingers, and I put it on my neck. So this is probably the one that I use the most, but there are a few that I want to talk about. And then I want to highlight one in particular that maybe kind of flew by you and is not on your radar. And I think it's worth knowing about. The next thing that I really love is the lid lifting treatment. Have you seen this? This is so cool. All you need to do is put a tiny little dot on your finger and put it on your lids, and it really does lift up your lids. I used it this morning, and you can see. So if you have hooded lids and you're frustrated, there are a number of things that you can do. This is one of them. You might want to think about giving this a try. It could really help. It does lift your lids. This next one is the Multi-Action Sculpting Cream. This I use when I want to snap the skin on my face in. And it's weird. It's really subtle, but if you end up getting this, look at your face, take a good look, and then put a really thin, just a thin veil of this all over your face. Go do something and come back in 10 minutes and look in the mirror and you go, "Oh, wow." It's not like a facelift, it's just kind of like a little, I don't know, it just snaps everything up in place. This is a smaller jar. You only need a tiny, tiny bit. You can see I still have so much in there. Do not use a lot of this because it will pill up. I have found that a very thin veil, and I always start underneath my eyes, go to my lip, and then sort of smooth it around the rest of my face. This is a nice little cream, but don't use too much because it'll pill up and you'll be frustrated when you put your makeup on. These, I'm telling you what, this is City Beauty just has some really good stuff. This line smoothing hydro mask, oh my gosh. This is probably the best mask I've ever used for a few reasons. First of all, the mask itself, you know how sometimes when you'll pull a mask out of the package, it feels like it's just going to tear and break and you're fiddling with it and it's not very substantial? That's not what this is. It comes out, it's a substantial mask. It fits nicely. It doesn't feel so flimsy and feel like it's going to fall apart, and it hydrates your face like nobody's business. If you're going to a Christmas party, use one of these a few hours beforehand. Your skin will be so hydrated. These are really beautiful masks. They did a good job on these. Now I want to talk about the final product. There's lots of products over there. I haven't tried a lot of them. There's a bazillion over on the City Beauty site. This is the Uplift Firming Serum. The reason I want to talk about this today is that this stuff is really cool. And I think if you want a little bit tighter, firmer look to the skin on your face or any part of your body, this is a good thing to know about. This little bottle, and you just unscrew it like this, and then it has a dropper, and you just depress this plunger while it's in the bottle, and then it'll fill up that dropper. It is a serum. And the beauty of this serum is that whatever is in these lifting treatments, this is the concentrate of that. This can be mixed in with your regular serums that you use on your face morning or evening. It can be mixed in with your moisturizer. This morning, I just took a little bit into my hand. I just put a little dropper in my hand, tapped my fingers in there, and put it underneath my eyes. So you can see underneath my eyes. You can use this on its own or mixed in with other products, and it is so handy to have around. For instance, what I would think of is, let's say I've been eating out at restaurants a lot and my face is really puffy. You know how that happens. I might mix some of this in my moisturizer and just try to get that puffiness down a little bit. It's great for those targeted areas, you know, like your upper lip, underneath your eyes, around your eyes, all that area. So the Uplift Firming Serum, this is a great little thing to have on hand. I've had this bottle, you guys, probably a year or more, and there's still a bunch in it. So it lasts a long time and it's just so stinking handy. So this firming serum, I think, is a good thing to have in your arsenal if you're interested in that. Everything is 35% off right now. Good time to stock up. I'm actually going to stock up with a few things. They send me some stuff, but I always go through it a lot quicker than they send it to me. And of course, the one thing, this is the little basket that sits next to my couch, and this is where I keep all the important things, like my scissors to cut my yarn when I'm crocheting. This is where I keep my City Lips Plumping lip gloss right here. This stuff really plumps my lips up. It doesn't look like duck lips or like you've had injections, but it just plumps them up. And when I don't use it, I can really tell. So I keep one of these in this little basket by my couch, in my purse, on my makeup table, all around. I buy these in bulk because I go through them quite a bit. So 35% off everything on the City Beauty website. I'm not sure when the sale ends. It started on Monday. It's probably going to end like next Sunday or Monday. I don't think I put the dates down. I'll try to put the dates down after we're done here. So there's a code, pretty over 50. You can use that. That's the sale. The next thing I want to talk about is I want to ask you guys to give me your thoughts and tell me what your favorites are. We're going to still talk about sales, but it's going to be in a different category. What I am going to do during 2023, and the reason I can do this is because of you guys. I have an email newsletter list. You might be on it. If you're not, you can click the link down below in the description box and sign up. What has happened is that that email newsletter list has gotten really big. There are a lot of people on it. And what that has done is that that has given me some clout to be able to go to the companies that I regularly use their products or like their products or use their devices or whatever, and say to them, I have a whole lot of people that are interested in good skincare products. Give me a special sale that's bigger and better and longer than what's out in the marketplace. And that's what I'm going to do in 2023. I'm going to try to have a boss event every single month in 2023. And what's a boss event? That is a big old super sale. And it's going to be available only to viewers of Pretty Over 50, only to those on the newsletter list. In other words, it's going to be announced in the newsletter every month what the boss event is for that month. I think it's going to be a wonderful way for us to get a great discount on the products that we already love and use, especially for us. And the criteria that I'm going to have with the companies is I'm going to say, I really want a better sale for my little group of people, and I want it to last for the month. I'm hoping that they're going to agree, but I think that we'll be able to get that. What I want from you guys, or what I'm interested in knowing from you guys, is what are the companies that you would absolutely love to have a special insider sale for the Pretty Over 50 newsletter people? Put it in the comments down below, not over on the chat, because it's harder for me to go through that and see what you guys said. So put it in the comments down below and tell me which companies you'd be really, really interested in having a boss event with for 2023. I already have a few companies in mind, in my mind, but I want to know what you guys are thinking because I might be overlooking something that's really important to you. Now, I mentioned this in one of the lives, I think a couple weeks ago, and someone messaged me and said, please, please don't do that. We're over consuming as it is. We've got to stop all this buying, buying, buying. And you know what? I completely agree. What I'm talking about is not going out and buying additional things or buying just to buy. I really want them to be products that we use anyway, that we're going to use anyway. And this will be a way for us throughout the year 2023 to be able to stock up on all those products that we're going to use anyway. For instance, we're going to use hair products. I don't think we're going to stop using hair products. If we can get a boss event with Haielle, that would be awesome because we're going to use it anyway. And that way we could save money, do a little stock up during that month, and then we're good for a few months. So let me know in the comments down below what your favorite choices would be, and I'll get busy working on it on my end. So let me hop over here. Okay, here's the game. I have been trying to sign up, but never received the Sunday email. Hi, Ann. I get that a lot. And I think about 99.9% of the time, it's ending up in your spam or your junk folder. And I know that because a lot of people will email me and they'll say, please add me to your newsletter list. I've tried to sign up. I never get the newsletter. I'll go over and add them in the little program where my newsletter is, and I find out they're already in there. It's because it's going to your spam folder. So absolutely check that first. If you don't find it in your junk or your spam folder, then send me an email and say, I've already checked my junk mail, my spam folder, please add me again, and I'll go ahead and add you. So if you have questions this morning about what we're going to talk about, and I'm going to talk about so much, hope you guys are in for a little bit of chatting from me, put them in all caps. So as I'm looking over on the side, I'll be able to know that that's a question. So put your questions in all caps, and that will help me get tuned into the fact that that is a question. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is a little bit of a skincare trick. And I have my notes over here. Oh, we're not doing skincare yet. I just checked my notes. I wanted to show you guys something. When you see me do these lives, have you noticed this on the couch? I notice this every time I watch a live back. If I'm, watching it, what do you guys think that is? It's here all the time. This is my neck light. And I just had a lady send me a comment saying, does it bend? Yep, it does. This is the coolest little neck light. And I bought this 2 years ago. And it stays on my couch right here because when I'm on my couch and I'm listening to a YouTube video or a book on tape, what am I doing? I'm crocheting. I have a yarn problem. I do. I have a yarn problem. And this is around my neck, is around my neck if I have the lights low in the living room. So I'll put this around my neck and watch. It has 3 different levels. You can turn one off and keep the other one on. They bend every which way. This thing is so stinking handy. And if you're out changing the carburetor in your car, you can put it around your neck and focus it on the carburetor and it would be right there. Anywho, this neck light is really handy. If you do any type of yarn work or needlework and you don't want, a really strong light flooding the whole room, you want a kind of a little bit of ambiance, which I prefer, get yourself one of these. This little sucker is so handy. It's super easy. There's just buttons on either side that you push and you can put on one side or the other or both sides. And then right here, you can see it just plugs in with a cable. So every now and then I'll just unplug my computer that's charging, plug it into this, and it charges up pretty quickly, less than an hour, really quick. And I charge this, oh gosh, it seems like I hardly charge it maybe once a month. It really does last a long time. Plus I've had it since 2020 and it's still working great. So super cool neck light, wonderfully handy. I have it linked down below. It's just from Amazon. Super easy to find. Okay, so that's the little tip for the day. Is City Beauty clean beauty products? I don't know the answer to that. I would have to check into it. And here's the dilemma with that. My guess is they probably are, but I don't know for sure. I need to become more familiarized with all the different names of the chemicals and products that are in skincare that we want to avoid. And it's a big, long process. It is a big topic. It's taking me a lot, and I'm going to do it in tiny little bites at a time because I find that I learn better and I stick with it better when I do it a little bit at a time. So I'm really focusing on just one step at a time. It seems like that is the way that I am successful at sticking with something because if I jump in and try to learn everything or do everything all at once, it just ends up being a huge failure for me, whole lot of wasted effort and energy, and I never follow through because it's too overwhelming. So I'll definitely look into that. Let's see, does that light work for reading? Oh yeah, that's mainly what it's designed for is as a really like I just use it for crocheting, but absolutely you can use it for anything. Do you use retin A or retinoids or retinaldehydes? Yeah, I do. I was using Curology fairly regularly on my skin. And of course, that is tretinoin. Retin-A is a brand of tretinoin. I haven't been using it as much since I moved, mostly because I was using copper peptides on my skin, which really impact the firmness of my skin. And I don't like to use tretinoin while I'm using copper peptides. Sometimes I'll use them every other day, like tretinoin one night, copper peptides one night, tretinoin, copper peptides. I just haven't jumped back into it. One thing that I am doing, and I'm going to do a full video on this, is what I'm doing for my neck. And you guys can see my neck. Now, I am 66. That's been established. And my neck is not looking that great. It's not looking as bad as it was. I use my red light on it in the morning. And what I do, and you might want to do this too if you have a red light panel, is I actually grab the bottom of the panel. You know, it's hanging on the back of my door. I grab the bottom of that panel and I pull it up so that it is hitting directly on my neck. Because if I'm just sitting in front of it like this, I'm not getting as much on my neck as possible. So I just grab it up and I'll do a couple of minutes, just sort of turning my neck back and forth so that red light can really hit my neck well. Another thing that I've been using on my neck is the Moonlight Serum from MyoLift. That is a retinaldehyde, which is I believe that's the strongest form of vitamin A that you can get without a prescription. I've been using that on my neck. What I'm going to be doing in 2023 is really hitting my neck hard because while the skin on my face I think is looking pretty good, the skin on my neck I really would like to see better or more improvement. So I'm going to really be focusing a lot of skincare on my neck, and instead of just patting the serums and stuff on my face and then patting what's left over down my neck, I'm going to do a whole treatment on my neck with the whole skincare. In other words, it's not just going to be the leftovers that go on my neck. I'm going to use the whole thing on my neck. So I'm really going to be focusing on my neck skin for 2023, and you guys can follow along and see what happens. My guess is that there's just a point in time where, I have done this enough. I have, used my neck enough. You can say I've got necklace lines, that sort of thing. I just want to keep things just as nice as they could be for as long as possible. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about with skincare is what I think is one of the foundational practices that we can have for really pretty skin. And this is one of the big mistakes that I made when I first started my skincare routine when I first started. Okay, I see a couple of questions over here. How frequent do you need to use the red light to see a difference? I use my red light every day for 10 minutes. I have one viewer, I think this is brilliant. She sits in front of her red light front for 10 minutes, turns around and has it hit her back and the back of her arms for 10 minutes. And she says it's really improved the firmness of her underarms. You know how you get that kind of little a little wiggly thing that's there. Mine's pretty wiggly. I haven't done it yet. I need to do that. I just haven't fit it in. What I want to talk about today is exfoliation. This is so important in my mind. And if you look in the mirror and you say, my skin just is not looking fresh. It's not looking pretty. It's not looking shiny. It's just looking kind of dull and yucky. Exfoliation is the ticket to your happiness right there, I'll tell you. What I did when I first started my skincare routine, of course, I knew nothing about skincare, absolutely nothing. What I did is I just bought a whole bunch of products that I saw people using on YouTube, and I bought them and I started throwing them on my face. Not the way to do it. Absolutely not. What had happened over the 60 something years of me neglecting my skin is that I had so much build up of dead skin cells, old, ruddy, dead skin cells all over my face and down my neck that my skin just looked dull and lifeless. And me slapping all those serums on my face was probably doing nothing other than wasting my money because I had so much dead skin built up. I can't even imagine that those serums were able to sink in and do any good. What I finally realized several months in is that I was wasting my money just trying to get that stuff into my skin. I needed to take off those old dead skin cells and get down to some fresh new skin to really make a difference. That's where this AHA, BHA, and you guys probably can't see it because of the glare. This is the AHA, BHA peeling solution from The Ordinary. This came to my rescue. This stuff is thebomb.com. It is so effective and it is so inexpensive. Honestly, I think this bottle is like $7. And you can see I have had this for a number of months. I've been using this bottle. It is so inexpensive. It is so very powerful. This looks like beet juice. It's bright red, which when you first open it up is a little bit disconcerting. However, it ends up being really great because you can see very, very clearly where it is on your skin, how you placed it on your skin. The way that I started using this is I used it 2 to 3 times a week. When I finally figured out, "Kimberly, you've gotta get that old dead skin off your face first," that's gonna be the ticket to glowing, fresher looking skin. So when I very first started my skincare routine, after I realized the folly of my ways, the error of my ways, I started using this 2 to 3 times a week, and I would just pull my hair back, wash my face, pat it dry, take a dropper full of this and drop it all around my face. Don't get it in your eyes. You will not be happy. And just pat it all around my face and let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. Now, here's the thing with this. It is really, really effective. If you have super, super sensitive skin, this might not be a good choice for you. So do a little patch test over on the side. It's only $7 or $8. It's not gonna break the bank if you just buy a bottle, patch test it, find out you can't use it, and you gift it to a girlfriend. But this has ended up saving my skin. One of the things I wanna say to you guys is if you've been doing your skincare for a long time and you think, "Oh, my skin, I'm really taking care of it, but it's not looking as fresh as I want," go back to doing this 2 to 3 times a week for a couple of weeks. And maybe it's something that you do like the beginning of every season, like when winter starts, when spring comes, when summer comes, when fall comes. Because I know once we get into the routine of doing our skincare, sometimes we forget to do a really good exfoliation. Now, when I first started doing this, it stings. It stings a little bit. And what I found really worked for me was to put it on my skin and then go do something like wash the dishes or unload the dishwasher or make the bed or something like that to just take my mind off the fact that my skin was stinging a little bit. What happened over time is that your skin gets used to it, and now I can put it on, and it's like no big deal. I don't even think about it anymore. But this stuff will really, really help to exfoliate all those old dead skin cells that are built up on your face. Now, it says peeling solution. Does your skin actually peel? No. It doesn't. So that's a little bit misleading, and if I were the ordinary, I might rename this product exfoliation or something like that. It doesn't peel. In other words, you're not gonna see sheets of skin coming off, you're just not. But what's gonna happen if you use this 2 to 3 times a week for a couple of weeks, you're gonna look in the mirror and go, "Oh, wow, what a difference." And you're gonna see a much fresher, much brighter, clearer looking skin because when we're just putting on serums and moisturizers day after day, we're not cleaning off those old dead skin cells, and they really need to be cleaned off. And that's really going to pop your skin out and make it look really fresh and really bright. So, this is linked down in the description box. Again, it's super, super affordable. A bottle will last you so long, and it's really worth the time. And in the beginning, it does sting a little bit, but I think you're gonna get used to it. Alrighty. I use the City Beauty Body Sculpt for crepe skin on my arms and legs. A lot of people do, and they say it really does work. I love that. Are you still using Beauty Pie products? Yes, I am, and I'm out. I am out, and I didn't reorder in time. How do we know if we should use a retinol? Well, that's something that you need to think about. Vitamin A, in my mind, is one of the foundational ingredients in a good skincare routine, particularly if you're just starting out. Vitamin A, vitamin B, and vitamin C. And that's what I preach on my channel is exfoliate your skin for the first couple of months. Just wash it, exfoliate, and moisturize for the first couple of months. And then start in with vitamin A, vitamin B, and vitamin C. I think as you get older, you do want to incorporate vitamin A into your routine. What it's going to take from you is a little bit of education so you know what kind that you want. Tretinoin, which is what it is in Retin A, is the strongest, but there's measured steps leading up to that. There are a ton of vitamin A products out in the world, and you can definitely look around. And if you have sensitive skin or if you just want to dip your toe in, get something like a retinol or retinaldehyde that's a little bit more gentle, isn't going to peel your skin like tretinoin can, and just dip your toe in that way. It takes a while for the effects of retin-A to really kick in. It is a slow going process. But I have seen women who started using retin-A when they were in their late 20s, early 30s, and their skin is fabulous today. So it's definitely worth the type of effort that it takes. Okay, so Paula asked, are you using any type of sunscreen? I'm going to answer that, but I want you guys to realize this is me. It doesn't mean you, it means me. I am not using a titled sunscreen anymore on my skin. I use the Ion Skin Support. Why am I using the Ion Skin Support? Because I feel like for me, it's a more healthful choice to protect my skin from the sun. I did an interview with my friend Cindy Fallon. She's a PhD. She's a by something chemist. Anyway, she's a very smart gal, much smarter than I am. She likes that nerdy science stuff, and she and I did a full discussion on our sunscreen safe. And the reason I did that is because I became so frustrated and quite honestly a little angry at seeing yet another sunscreen being pulled off the market for cancer-causing ingredients. It's like, what the heck, FDA? How many billions of dollars in funding do you get every year, and you can't even keep us safe from sunscreen? I was so frustrated. I wanted to get to the bottom of it. And what Cindy really uncovered, and she is a meticulous researcher. I mean, meticulous. And if you listen to her, she is so measured in her communication. In other words, she is darn sure that she's very clear and can back up what she says with documentation and studies before she says anything. I'm much more, emotional in my speech. She's very measured. Her position is that there really are no chemical sunscreens out on the market that are safe. They're just chock full with toxic ingredients. There are mineral sunscreens that are great. Then you have to deal with the white cast, that sort of thing. But Ion, which is the company that she works for, Ion was in place before she started working for them. She was attracted to Ion because of what they were doing. Does have something called Ion Skin Support. And the mechanism of action is that the Ion Support donates that ion to your skin because the free radicals are scavenging around looking for that ion, and it's going to get it from the skin support. So I use the ion skin support on my face, on my neck, front and back now, right after I wash my face in the morning before I put on my serums. And that really cuts down on those free radicals. In addition, there were studies done that eating a diet that is rich in fruits and vegetables will really help your skin moderate sun damage just as well as a lot of sunscreens. So there is a lot of great documentation out there that shows that eating a healthy diet filled with fruits and vegetables and those nutrients, your body does regulate your sun damage. And that's been quite, oh, there's a lot of people that have a very, very emotional reaction to that. They haven't seen the studies. They don't want to read the studies. They don't want to integrate new information. It's been kind of a little bit of a battle, but I knew that. Anytime there's new information out that talks about a more healthful way to do something, there's always pushback. So it's something that you definitely can research yourself, and decide for yourself what you want to use on your face. I'm not using sunscreens anymore. Does that mean I bake in the sun? Absolutely not. I like to get 10 minutes of good sun on my skin without sunscreen every day because the vitamin D is so important for our great health, and your body doesn't really make vitamin D without the sunlight. So I do like to get my vitamin D, but other than that, I am using coverings when I hike. I try to stay in the shade. I use a hat, that sort of thing. So is baking in the sun something I'm choosing to do? You betcha no. I don't want a sunburn. But am trying to use more healthful ways to prevent sun damage on my skin. Okay. Let's see. What's next on my list? Okay, talked about that. All right. Now I want to launch and oh my gosh, I've been talking a long time. I'm sorry, you guys. I want to talk about something that's super, super important right now because it's something new that I'm launching on. I actually just started about a week ago. And I think it's going to be important and good information for you guys as we grow older. And what I have done is I have hired a babysitter for myself. You might call it a personal trainer. I'm calling it a babysitter. Why am I calling it a babysitter? Because I know what to do. I just haven't been doing it. And what I am launching on, and I actually started a couple of weeks ago, like I said, is I am launching on a program to build muscle on my 66-year-old body. The reason that I'm doing that is twofold. First and foremost, I know that as we age, we are more susceptible to falls and injuries that we don't recover from as quickly as we may have in our 30s and 40s. And I know that one of the ways to protect yourself against falls and injuries, like you fell down, broke a hip, and that was, the beginning of the end, that kind of thing, is to have really great muscle mass on your body. And as we age, we start losing our muscle mass. And we've all looked in the mirror and seen it. It's like, oh my gosh. And I've noticed it myself. So I live alone. And I really want to stay as strong and healthy and prevent any type of accidental injury to myself as I grow older. And I know one of the most important things that will help me stay healthy is to have a really strong muscular structure. In addition, I have big plans for the coming spring and summer months that I want to be really, really fit for, which is why I started weight training a couple of weeks ago. Now, I have weight trained before in my life. I am no stranger to the gym. I know exactly what to do, and I wasn't doing it. So I hired myself a babysitter. Her name is Hope. She makes me do all the exercises. I am launching on a program to see what can happen to an older body when you really start a weight training program. And not only am I weight training, I am doing what is called body recomposition. So I'm working to build more muscle while losing fat, which doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun. And you know what? It's just not that much fun. Although I do enjoy weight training, it really is kind of fun for me. It's one of the things that I really enjoy. So what I am doing is that I am in the process of losing fat and gaining muscle. What I'm interested in finding out is how effective is this going to be for someone my age who does not really produce a lot of muscle at my age. Now, if you are on Instagram and you've watched Joan McDonald, you might know who she is. She's under Train with Joan. Train with Joan on Instagram. She has like 1.7 million followers, huge followers. She has done an incredible job, like stunning, the best I've seen of someone who was overweight, out of shape, low muscle mass, and has completely shifted her whole body to just be this incredibly fit woman. And I believe that she's either late 70s or 80s. So she is older than me and has done an amazing job with her body. Now, I'm going to be launching on the same journey. I'm probably not going to hit it as hard as Joan did. Her daughter is actually a personal trainer that has a program, and Joan just hopped on to that program and did it. If you're not following Train with Joan over on Instagram, you got to follow her. She's amazing. So, what I am doing is I am weight training 3 times a week. I have upped my cardio on my rebounder to at least 10 minutes a day. Remember, when I was first starting on that, I was only doing like 3 minutes to 5 minutes a day. Now I'm up to 10 minutes once or twice a day. So I've upped my cardio on my rebounder. I love that thing like nothing else. There is something funny that happens to me when I get on my rebounder. Like, I get giddy. I don't know if it's the childlike activity of bouncing up and down or what it is, but I just love it. And it's consistently gotten easier and easier and easier over time. I built up my stamina. When I first started my rebounder, and if you end up getting a rebounder, make sure you get a good one, first of all. My back muscles, because your whole body is shifting up and down, my back muscles were getting used in a way that they hadn't. I was having like these little mini back spasms. It really was quite a shift getting used to it. Now it's great. I get on it, I feel giddy, it's fun, and it's easy. What is the best product for blotches and brown spots on your face? I'll address that in just a minute. So I am starting on this weight training exercise. I have done pictures of myself in a bathing suit. I can't even believe I'm doing that. And I'm going to post them on the internet. I'm going to show you the before and probably 3 months in, and then maybe 4, and then maybe 5 months in. What I want to find out and share with you guys is what makes a difference. Can we really build muscle at this age? And I think we know the answer is yes. Joan has definitely showed us that. But what do you have to do? How much do you have to sacrifice? How hard is it? Is it worse? And how do you feel? Blah, blah, blah. In other words, I want to document everything that happens over the course and what things really work and what things are a waste of time. So you guys don't have to waste your time doing that. Now, one of the things that my trainer has really driven home is upping my protein intake. And if you guys ever had a personal trainer and worked on your protein intake, it is a challenge. They are looking for, in general, between zero point 0.8 and 1 to 1 for pounds of body weight. So I am currently 162 pounds. That means there are some trainers out there that want me to eat between 130 and 162 grams of protein in a day. And if you've ever tried that, it is stinking hard. I'll tell you what, it is stinking hard. Couple that with trying to keep your calorie intake to a certain level around 12, 1300, eating all that protein, it becomes really, really challenging. Here's the deal. I'm not into misery. I'm just not. So I am figuring out a way to do this so that it's not miserable, so it's doable, so it's a little bite at a time to change things up. Because when your body recomposing your body, you have to lose the fat, gain the muscle. Your diet becomes super, super important. The weight training is just a part of it. They say abs are built in the kitchen. And I don't even want to tell you, I am embarrassed at what my waist measurement is. I'm just gonna post it, I think, in a description box of a video. I can't even say it out loud. When the trainer measured me and I looked down, I said, "Is that my waist measurement?" She goes, "Mhm, yes, ma'am." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it is not pretty." So I definitely want my waist measurement to go down. Um, so one of the things that I'm doing is really working on my diet right now, and I wanna share with you something I found that's really, really good. Protein powders, and I know this was an eye roll moment for me, like, "Oh, protein powders, I don't wanna do it," but there's almost no way I would have to eat all day long in order to get all the protein that I need. I did some research on protein powders, and I found one that I think is really, really good. This is a whey protein. It's from a company called Mutant. Not a great name in my mind, but it's called Surge. And it is an isolate, and there's a lot of, talk out there about different protein powders and what do they do. Here's why I want to talk about this today. This is really good. It tastes really good. And there are 25 grams of protein in a scoop of this. And you can put it in just water, you can put it in coconut milk, you can put it in regular milk, you can put it in almond milk, you can make a smoothie out of it, however you want to use it. I ordered the strawberry flavor and it is really good. And what I'm doing right now is I'm drinking 2 of these a day. So I'm getting 50 grams of protein, which is huge for building muscle, just by drinking 2 of these. And the cool thing is that if you just drink it with water, your calorie count is only about 120 calories. So it's very, very doable. Getting a good source of protein into your diet so that you can hit those protein goals is really important when you wanna build muscle, particularly at this age. Now, what I am looking for when I'm building muscle is I want a stronger back, I want stronger hips. I want stronger arms. I want everything to hold my muscular skeletal in tighter and firmer. So if I end up falling, so if I end up having some type of injury, I am really protected because I have a really strong muscular structure. And we've all seen those older women and older men who don't keep up with a fitness routine and they become frail. I don't want to be frail. I don't want anybody to look at me and say that lady is frail. That is not in my future. That's one of the reasons that I'm building muscle. Now, I am really working on the whole protein issue. Am I really, really concerned with fat right now, the fat on my body? No, it's a secondary issue. And I'll tell you why. And I told my trainer this, my babysitter. I said, "I am not about being miserable. I am here on this planet to have fun. That is my number one hot button is let's have fun. I don't want to be miserable. And I will only tolerate a few points of discomfort in my life at a time, truly. I do not like a structured life where everything is a misery. That's not my idea of a good time. So what I told her is I'm going to focus on getting that amount of protein in my diet now. And I'm looking up really good recipes, for high protein meals. And I'm going to use this. And I'm going to work on the fat content and the calorie content of my diet once all of this is all integrated and I feel comfortable with this, it's easy. It's not a point of discomfort or frustration or feeling overwhelmed or anything. I like to do things slowly in a way that feels reasonable, that I can handle it, and it doesn't suck all the joy out of my life. I'm not into losing all my joy. So even if I don't lose any fat at all, if I just gain muscle, I am totally good with that because the reason that I'm doing this is number one, to not incur all those injuries that are so common as we grow older. I'm 66 now, 4 years till 70. I don't want to do the whole broken hip thing. I want to stay really, really strong and really, really flexible. So that's the journey. That's going to be kind of the first half of 2023 on my channel is really talking about how do you build muscle? How do you lose fat if that's what you want to do? And of course, I'm not going to be jumping into that real heavy for at least a month or two because I want to get all of this in line. This stuff that I showed you, this surge in the strawberry, actually tastes good. I've tasted some pretty nasty protein powders in my life. So if you end up starting on a weight training program, I can tell you this is some good stuff. You just get it off of Amazon. All right, so that is kind of a wrap up of where we're going for 2023. I hope things calm down in the world. They've been so crazy lately. I can't even believe it. Make sure that you put in the comments down below the companies that you would like to have a boss event with, and that is big old super sale for the insiders on Pretty Over 50. I want the sale to be bigger and better and longer than their regular sales that they provide to the public. And I want it to be for products that we're going to use anyway. I don't want this to be just another reason to spend money, because we're not about that anymore. That's not what we're doing. We're really just looking for some stock up pricing on things that we use every day. In addition, tell me the companies that you would like to see featured. And then what else do we have here? If you're interested in weight training, I'm going to be doing some videos on home workouts and that sort of thing. I just hired my babysitter to get me started, get me up off the couch and doing this. All right. So anybody, let's see. Green Lady 3 says, I've been using Vital Proteins collagen and I like it. Would like to see your cooking and meal planning and enjoyed your green tomatoes. Oh, thanks. Love the City Lips and the City Beauty, the crepe cream. Yeah, both of those are really good. I will be, so around the whole getting your body in shape, and I'm not talking about getting thin. That's like, I'm so over that. I am so over that. I would like to get in better shape, more muscle mass, more flexible, just stronger, because I have a lot of big plans for the spring and summer and I will need to be fit for them. And so I'll be doing some meal planning, some at-home workout things, just little tips and tricks that I learned that are easy to implement, that are super, super effective. I don't like to waste my time. And I'll share with you guys the good things that I found that really, helps things along. Oh, and I'm also drinking a ton of water. You guys know what that's like when you spend half your time in the bathroom. Okay, I think that's it for today. Don't forget the City Beauty stock up sale, 35%, everything on the website. I'm actually going to go over and buy some more City Lips because I go through those a lot. I really do love those. My favorites are the Invisicrepe Body Balm for my neck, the Hydro Mask, awesome. And then take a look at this, the Firming Uplift Serum. I think this is a good little thing to have in your arsenal. If you don't have this, I think you'll like it. Underneath your eyes, on your lips, really does tighten and firm everything. All right, everyone. I am so glad that you joined me today. I love doing these. I love, love, love doing these. Let me know if you want me to continue to do lives, maybe once a month in 2023, maybe to announce the boss sale. That would be a fun thing to do, huh? And I can answer your questions as well. All right, I am going to go in, make my protein drink, and cook my chicken breast for the day. Thank you so much for joining me. I always have such a good time. I really do. And you guys know when I'm done, I go back through and read all the comments to see what you were saying. All right. Take care. Make it a great day. I've got a fun video coming for you this Sunday. Happy holiday. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy solstice. Happy Hanukkah. Happy everything. I'm just sending you lots of love and joy in your life. All right. Take care. And I will see you guys this Sunday. Bye now.